Miss Pam said to us that you can fool some of the people some of the time, but you can't fool God none of the time. Let's get into it. Hey loves, welcome back to my channel, Miss Jones TV. And as I stated in the previous video, we are here for episode 2 of BET Presents The Encore. So here we are, episode 2, Time to Be Queen. And last I remember, we left off with Keely and Aubrey discussing the fact that Keely stated that Aubrey was being divisive. And so after they had that conversation, it automatically goes into where ladies end up meeting with Sita to decide who is going to be queen. So with this role goes, the person who was voted queen will be the one who pretty much keep the group on track in making the album or making the music. And so they all decide to go ahead and vote. So what Sita does is put Shamari in charge of counting the votes. And right off the bat, you already know how I feel. We have Tweedledee and Tweedledum over here stating that something about the early bird special. I'm just not understanding what this girl has with people who are older than her. It's like any chance that, and I believe it may be Fallon who's doing most of the insulting, because Felicia seems to be just a little bit more less jerkish. And so either way, it's like always a statement on someone's age. And let me tell you something how that works. So let me say this, when sis get about a certain age, somebody's gonna have something to say about how old she is, and trust me, sis is not gonna like it. So then, Keely have something to say about once she's voted creative director, then she'll be able to get the ladies on track. What we're not understanding, Keely, is what are you creating and who are you directing? Because all we've seen so far is just pretty much you singing and dancing like everyone else. So we're just waiting, and it has yet to be seen. So after Sita discussed and put Shamari in charge counting the votes, so now the ladies go to vote, and again, Shamari is counting the votes. As the lady goes into the booth, some of them show who they are voting for. So we do see that Misha picks Pam to be queen. Then, of course, Aubrey has something to say. Me personally, I just think Aubrey either feels threatened by Keely, or Aubrey's probably used to being an alpha female, and Keely seems maybe to be an alpha female, so they're gonna just naturally bump heads. So she has some little shade to say, but y'all already know how I feel about Aubrey. And then of course we see Keely, she votes for herself. I mean, how just that girl is just convinced. I think she's honestly trying to convince herself that she's creative director, because she's just a little too much. Like with this role, yet she's doing everything everybody else is doing. So then as the voting is going, we do notice that Aubrey, Fallon, Pam, Felicia, and Keely all get one vote. So then it's starting to narrow down, and we notice that then I believe Aubrey and Pam ties with 2-2. But then that tie is broken with an extra vote with Pam getting it. So Pam's now queen of the group, pretty much queen of the house for right now. What I love is, I forgot who, I think it was Keely or Aubrey, but somebody ended, not Aubrey, but I think it was Keely. She ended up calling, no, not Keely. It was whoever was sitting next to Keely, they called her out, or like Lamisha was like, did you vote for yourself, girl? I fell out. Because I was like, all that is saying is they knew that nobody in that group was going to vote for Keely. So it had to be Keely who voted for herself, girl. And I just thought that was the funniest thing ever. So Pam gets the vote, and now Pam's queen of the house. And it seems like everyone is pretty happy with it, because Pam is pretty much neutral. She doesn't take sides. Pam is all about just following God's and following her calling and her purpose. So Pam is just not here for the mess. Like, she's not. And if you notice, when they were voting and Pam's name was mentioned, Pam kept shaking her head like, no. Like, she did not want that job. She did not want that responsibility, having to deal with the messy women and their mess. But Pam got it and she took it gracefully, and I thought that was pretty cool. So then Pam reads the Queen Mandate where it states the rules and, them holding court when they need to hold a meeting, and that I believe it's like they have to do 3 songs of like each ladies, or have at least 3 songs. I need to go back and see that part, but pretty much they have a minimum of a song that they have to get done. So then Nivea makes a statement where she says she just don't see that this is going to happen because of how the ladies are in the group, and it is very possible. I do think these ladies can pull it together. I just think once everybody set their ego aside, they'll be able to get way more accomplished. But right now it just seems like everyone is trying to, not everyone, but majority of the ladies is pretty much trying to make it known that they hold some type of status. I don't know, but I do think eventually these ladies will get it together. So then it starts with the next day with Pam and Shamari in the bathroom getting ready to start their day. And so Pam saying she just wants to have the ladies come together and get this music done, and how she's really at peace because of how she was in her past, and that she has came a long way, and then how she's at peace and with God, and everything she's doing is with the purpose of God, and I'm all here for it. Really, I love how a person can turn their life around. Of course, I mean, let's remember, God is the 10th member of this group, so we can't forget about him, So then my girl Pam makes this statement where she states that you can fool some of the people some of the time, but you cannot fool God any of the time, honey. Yes, come through, Pam. And so she's just letting it be known, y'all can sit up here and act foolish all you want, but he knows what's up, okay? And I'm with her on that one. So then the ladies finally meet in the studio to get their first song officially down. And so as they meet with Cosign and Elijah, they do state that, they want each lady to find a part that suits them, that they feel comfortable with, to record down, and then they will go from there. So of course our girl Nivea goes first. Of course, sis can blow, okay? She's not worried, she ain't bothered, she wants to get her part down, and that she did. I just love hearing Nivea sing. Like, if Nivea came out again as a solo artist, I would definitely be here for it. She just has such a beautiful voice. So it seems like the song that was chosen was a reggae song. Now, I'm not no singer, so I'm not going to try to sing the words. It's ooh, no, no, no. And, yeah, that right there. But it sounds like it's going to be a cute song. I'm very selective when it comes to my reggae. Like, I like true to the hardcore reggae. But this song does sound like once it's mastered and finished, it will be a nice song to come together. So then it cuts to Aubrey, aka Inner Karen. She has a statement to say where, I think Nivea will be great with me and the twins, Fallon and Felicia. It's just her discipline. And girl, like, why every time you have something to say is about what somebody else can do? Why don't you worry about what you can do? Aubrey, why don't you worry about why the self-hate is real? Because, baby, it's real, okay? So then Shamari goes next, and she talks about how she nervous. Why? I don't know, because she has such a beautiful voice. And so she goes and she laid down her track, and it goes, like, phenomenal. It goes well. Like, come on, it's Shamari. Like, she still keeps her vocals trained through all these years. So I think she knew she didn't have nothing to worry, but she hasn't been in the studio for a while, so it would make sense. So then we hear Pam go, and then Felicia go, and of course after Felicia, Fallon. Felicia's my favorite singer. The ladies can sing, okay? The twins can sing, but to me, it's not strong like I would think it would be for the confidence that they have. Like I said, like, they don't blow, they blow. But they can sing. I'm not going to knock them for that. I can't sing, so I'm not going to sit here and talk about nobody's vocals, okay? But what I will say, if you're going to be a big bad wolf and blow somebody's house down, girl, you better have the wind to back it up. I'm just saying, Then Aubrey go, and she hits those notes, and of course we know Aubrey can sing, so I think Aubrey has like such a beautiful voice. I'm just not like impressed. I don't feel like when she sings, I'm like, maybe I am being a little biased. Like, I don't have an issue with Aubrey. It's just, girl, I can't stand any woman. I don't care color. I don't care what color you are. I have a problem with any woman and a man who always have something to say, who always pretend as though like they're not a problem or they're not problematic. And boo, you are. But you know, she did her thing in the studio, of course. So then Fallon, okay, so no, it was Felicia who went in first. So then Fallon ends up saying, so it was Felicia who went first. No, it was Fallon who went first. So then Felicia goes into the studio and she goes to sing. They're like, ooh, she sounds like Toni Braxton. And I just wish they would have let us hear her voice a little more and a little longer, like we did with Aubrey and Nivea and Shamari, because I didn't hear Toni. But the ladies are in the studio, so they would know. I just feel like that's a big comparison, because let's be honest, Toni didn't blow, okay? Toni has such a beautiful voice. I love her music still to this day, and so that's a big compliment, okay? But I'm gonna need BET to hear that, because you're not gonna sit out here and just throw Toni name in this and sis don't really sound like Toni. That's just what it is. So then Irish gets in the studio, and you could just tell Irish is just like because she's already heard what all the ladies can do. You could tell she just has a very low confidence in herself and in the abilities that she can do. And honestly, I really believe if Irish took the time to like rehearse and practice her vocals and got the training, she will have a beautiful voice. I feel like Irish would be up there like with Pam with her voice, but she hasn't sung in so long. And you know, from my understanding is once you stop singing and you stop training your voice, you kind of lose it. But I do believe we're, you know, rehearsing and repetition, like she can get some of it back. But Irish is in the studio and she's singing. The struggle is real. I'm just gonna call it like it is. I love me some Irish, but the struggle is real. And then they zoom to Aubrey and her puppet face, and she's like got a smirk about how Irish sing. And that's what I mean by Aubrey, right? Like the twins are bad enough. Why add fuel to the fire? Like, girl. But maybe Aubrey face, like, maybe she can't control the muscles in her face. Because sometimes, you know, you get enough work done in your face, you lose feeling of your nerves. So maybe she just can't help her face just making certain gestures. But, you know, we're not here to drag Aubrey. Not that bad, at least. So then it goes to the twins, Freaky Frack, and they want to start discussing about how she can't really sing, and Lamisha's sitting right there. This is, y'all gotta look at it, like this is Lamisha's ex-bandmate, okay, group, like they have a history together. It's like if someone was sitting there, it's like if someone was sitting there talking about Fallon in front of Felicia, you don't think Felicia gonna say something? If someone was talking about Felicia in front of Fallon, you know Fallon gonna say something. So like, I don't understand why you ladies just think like these ladies don't have some type of bond of connection to each other for you to just be yeah. Like, I'm telling you, they better than me, because I'm a type like, I'm sorry, would you like to say that louder so she can hear you? But I mean, Fallon, I guess, or Felicia, it's hard to tell these two together sometimes, but one of the twins goes in the studio and they direct Irish, and which I thought was like pretty cool within itself, because she knew that she needed the help and she was willing to give the help. Let's be honest, especially us women of color. So, you know, us ladies, some of us probably have been in predicaments where we can be struggling and a person can see us struggling and they won't help. They won't even give assistance. They would rather see us struggle and just have a hard time than actually help us through. So I thought that part with the twin was pretty nice of her. Not nice, but it was cool of her. Like, I respect that right there. At this point, we can tell Lamisha is just tired of the twins, and I do not blame her, because they have something to say all the time. Girl, like Felicia, like whoever has the $1 million, why don't you just watch your bank account? Like, just keep your mouth closed. I don't understand why they have such a hard time doing that. But at this point, you can tell Amisha is just over the twins, and so am I. They just always have something to say, and it's never positive. And I'm over it already with these two. And I think one of the twins say how, oh, you can tell they were backup dancers. They were the background and not the lead singers. And I just like, I really hope they do a reunion for this show. I really do, because it's nothing like hearing what a person really thinks about you and then they gotta sit across from you and explain what they meant. Don't get me wrong, you can tell the twins don't back down and they own what they say. It's just to the point where you want to just tell them to shut up, okay? But I'm really hoping a reunion come after this. That would be nice to see. So then we get Keely. We get Keely in the studio, and her voice dropped like 5 octaves low. And I was like, girl, what are we doing? You need to create and direct that vocal. That's what you need to do. I don't know how when she was singing with the the vocal coach Cinnamon, and her voice was, you know, where it needs to be, and then she gets in the studio and it just drops. And I'm like, what was that? Like, where did that come from? But girl got some. I don't know about that one. She's, to me, I think Keely might be just a little tad off, just a tad. But you know, as time goes, we will see. And while Keely is singing, Irish makes a remark. So then Irish goes to make a statement where she says, like, pretty much, she just don't understand why Keely keeps saying she's creative director. Clearly, she wants to be in this group because she keeps going in the studio. She keeps singing. She was dancing with the choreographer. So, I mean, Keely, let's make up our mind, boo. Let's just figure this out. Let's figure this out together. What is it that you want to do? Okay, and so then, baby, we hit a scene where I think it's Pam, Aubrey, I think the twins or one of the twins are all sitting there and they're talking after, you know, being in the studio, and Aubrey is leaning on Pam and she rubs her leg, and then Miss Pam, Auntie Pam, honey, she comes out and say, yeah, can you not do that? Can you not rub on my leg like that, please? Because I don't want nobody thinking the wrong thing. And Aubrey was caught off like, whew. And she said, it's not personal, you know. And Pam said what we already knew back in the day. Like, she used to be into women. Girl, like, I hope this is safe to say, but is it me? Or wasn't it very obvious that Pam was giving us very much butch tease in total? It wasn't a secret. It's no, come on, like, you could cut all the women, like, them women wore some short hair, girl, like Nia Long, their hair was cut fierce. But let's be honest, when the other two was wearing dresses, Pam was always wearing, like, we knew this already, Pam. All you did is confirm it. We knew this already. But it caught me off guard too. And you can tell Pam is very, very, very focused, or very, very adamant on how people view her. She do not want anybody who watched this show in her probably immediate family, her church, to think that she's into women again, which I was not getting that vibe from Aubrey. You know, I come from an era where women who are close and, you know, they can be a little touchy-feely, but it doesn't mean anything. But I can understand why Pam was like feeling that type of way, and how, but I also understand how the other ladies was caught off guard with that. After Pam announces that, you know, what I got from that is somewhat similar. I'm not saying it's the exact thing, but it's somewhat similar to an addict, like alcoholism or drugs, or anything that a person's addicted to. Even though you've gotten help for it, that possibly can be something that Pam may still be struggling with. No, she's not with women anymore. No, she doesn't entertain that lifestyle anymore. But it doesn't mean that deep down inside that she's still not battling that she's still fighting that off. So that may have been a trigger for her. And I really hated how that was starting to be perceived, especially by Keely. We'll get to that. But I honestly just thought maybe that was a trigger for Pam. And when Pam saw that, we don't know what she was battling inside. We don't know the struggle she goes through. I personally didn't take offense to it. I understand, but maybe because like, you know, I want to be funny. Like, you remember what's his name? Was it Andrew Carwell? I don't like men's anymore. that's that's kind of the vibe I got. But yeah, it's possible that Miss Pam may just, don't want to be tempted. We don't know. Maybe she really cares about what her church thinks, and she don't. People could look. We know we in a social media of cancel culture. Okay, people are real quick to take something out of nothing and make it into something. Okay, so I wasn't offended. It caught me off guard, but I understood. So then Aubrey like, that was weird, and yeah, it was off, but girl, like even if Aubrey's into that, Pam is definitely not Aubrey's taste. So I don't think I don't think Aubrey was doing that. I don't even think Aubrey probably realized she was doing it. And then Miss Keeley talked about something. I'm disappointed. God can't pray the gay away. And I'm like, ooh, girl, you real bothered. Is this something you want to tell us? And, down the line she does, and we'll get to that too. So then Pam goes upstairs. Let me tell you what I love about Pam. Like, Pam is so, like, she has so much self-awareness, because the first thing she says to the lady, Shamari and Nivea in the room, is, ooh, I think I might have said too much. I think I might have did too much. And I was here for that, because not a lot of people have, like, self-awareness or accountability. And she tells the ladies up there, like, hey, I'm going to tell you like I told them, like, I used to be into women, I'm not anymore, and I said something because Aubrey had her hand. I'm very protective of my space, and I love Shamari. Like, that's what I said. I could tell she has like such a good spirit, like a good heart, because she was all for it. She was like, girl, I understand that, like, you gotta speak up, you gotta say your piece. And I'm like, thank you. Like, don't, like, everybody just take everything so personal nowadays. And Nivea over there making her little jokes, but what I just love that Pam was able to acknowledge that, ooh, maybe I did a little too much. But Pam got to speak her piece. This is part of her process and what she's going through in her life and her healing. And so, like, I was not mad at that. And can we real quick? Can we talk about in that confessional with Shamari? Look, I'm not into like colorful hair, but can we talk about how Shamari was able to pull off that rainbow wig, boo? That blonde rainbow wig, that was a beautiful wig. Now, I personally would not put it on my head, but it was fabulous on her. Not everyone could pull that off, and sis pulled that off, so I was all here for it. So then it goes to the next morning, and Nivea's out working, and she has her shades on. So let me tell you something. I think Miss Nivea either had her little joint that morning, smoked her little ganja, or maybe had a little sip, because sis was definitely in a zone. Like, she took a sip of that coffee like it was the best coffee on earth. And any person who's ever smoked weed or gotten high, who's drank, like, food be like the best thing on the planet. And sis was like, ooh, this coffee. I was like, girl, you high. You high. You gotta be. Or, girl, you just really full of rainbows. Because, girl, I was here for Nivea in the morning. I was definitely, she's somebody that I would probably get a kick out of in the morning, because she funny. She just wakes up and just very just ready to go type of mood, and I'm all for it. So then Keely's in the kitchen, she's speaking, and she makes a real quick mention to Lamisha on how, oh, that's it, I'm not going to explain myself to nobody more. I'm not going to answer the question, why am I here? I'm creative director, girl. Y'all know the question I'm going to ask, right? Girl, what are you creating? And who are you directing? Like, answer this. You keep saying you're not going to answer something that you have yet to answer. But, And so Lamisha's like, well, why are you here? And Keely's like, for morale. So are you here for morale or directing? Pick one. Because they girl, you can't be morale, because you pretty messy yourself. It ain't just Aubrey, okay? Keely is problematic too. I'm gonna call that out. So yeah, I'm gonna need Keely to just try to figure this out, girl, because I'm not understanding it, like, at all. So then it goes to where Keely and Fallon is sitting in a room and they're speaking. And Lamisha around the corner peeking, ear hustling, okay? She ear hustling. She want to hear what they in there talking about. And what we hear is the conversation between the two, where how that the ladies who cannot dance are more so like background dancers. And she just comes straight out. Like Fallon comes straight out her mouth and say, Irish can't sing. Now, I'm not going to jump on Sis' case because Irish is struggling singing. She is having a hard time singing. But what I will say, girl, you don't have the strongest vocal cords in that house. Worry about you. Get yours together. Because as far as I'm concerned, girl, okay. So then Lamisha goes back to the other ladies and she's crying. She's hurt because she feels as though she's not wanted there. And that is a horrible feeling. Like, I'm the first to tell you, I know how that feels. I can understand why Lamisha was upset. Don't sleep on Lamisha though, because when she stood up in episode 1, sis about that life, she just chooses to not go there. But I can understand how that affected Lamisha. And she was just pretty much ready to go home. And that's what I'm talking about. You see what I'm saying? I have a problem because I'll consider myself to be honest. But I know how to do it with tact and coof. You have some people out here that use this excuse, I'm real, as an excuse to be mean. It's a very thin line between being honest and forward and honest and mean. And they go more towards the mean side. And you see how it has affected someone. So, I mean, I'm not understanding why, like, they think it's okay. But, I mean, everyone's different. Everyone perceives things different. I'm not here for the mean girlness, okay? I mean, we don't need another Regina George. We just don't. What I love is all the ladies uplift her, like, no, you're here. This is your purpose. You know, I'm here with Auntie Pam, honey. This God got you here for a reason. Because if you think about it, like, there's a few other ladies that is from that era that could have been on this show. And Misha made it. So after the ladies go ahead and speak with Lamisha, so Pam goes to call court because this is something that does need to be discussed because it is affecting one of the ladies in the group. So as they go in and Pam has her crown on, she takes her crown off and she says, like, all of us ladies are queens in here, you know. So then she said, who wants to go on the floor? And baby, Miss Lamisha said, oh, okay, we're gonna speak about this. This is the elephant in the room. She automatically addressed the twins pretty much. I'm tired of y'all always talking. Since I've been here, y'all been yada yada yada. Like, this is just not what it's supposed to be. Like, we're supposed to be coming together. And Felicia wasn't here for her, honey. She like, pause, wait, hold up, stop the press. Felicia didn't say nothing. Why every time something is said is me and Fallon? And that's what Felicia said in her confessional. She said, every time there's something, it's both of us. I didn't say anything, but boo, like, you just as bad as your sis. But in this point, in this situation, Felicia had nothing to do with this. So I feel why she was like, well, let me clear my name. So then Fallon like, yeah, I probably did say something. I did, you know. And she calls herself, well, like, would you rather just be out here looking crazy? Like, you look like you out of your element. Like, you need to know what you look like. Like, do you really want to be out here making a fool of yourself? And in a way, I understand where Fallon's coming from, but boo, you try to make it seem as though you helping, but we heard you and Keely. You wasn't trying to help because what you would have done was pull Lamisha to the side and had this one-on-one with her. Like, look, I can see you're having a hard time. How about me and you get together and I'll help you. We'll work on this. We'll get this. That is sisterhood, okay? That is when you truly care about another person. You don't sit there and talk, oh, they're bad. You pull them to the side, honey. Look, I've been a part of teams. I was a part of sports. and I've been in competitions, honey. You don't do that. You don't do that. You pull them to the side. I see you struggling. We gonna get this, girl. You and I. We gonna master this. And by the time we done, girl, you gonna know it better than me. And she didn't do that. What she did was want to just talk nasty. And Fallon ends it with like, well, it's the truth. I mean, I tell you, like, I acknowledge it when it needs to be acknowledged. I just think the delivery was horrible. It was horrible. It was just nasty. It was mean and nasty. But, you know, some people feel like it needed to be said. Well, me personally, Fallon could, okay. So then Keely goes, well, I have something to say, right? She goes, well, how unprofessional that the ladies are being. And how Fallon discounts others. Let me tell you something. Miss Keely might be confused on what she's creating and directing, but Miss Keely be having, she be talking some truth now. I'm not gonna take that from sis. Sis be on it because she right. Since Fallon has been here since the first night in the house, all Fallon has done is just discount others, put them down. Her and her sister pretty much made everyone who they deem weak, the weak link, she has done nothing but insult and criticize. And I'm with Keely on that. Like, y'all have not showed any type of harmony, okay? None at all. And then Keely takes a whole nother turn, honey, and I was done with her after that. I was done with Miss Keely after this, okay? She goes, Pam, I stand for you. No, I stood for you. Y'all know I had to be dramatic right there because, girl, what came out her mouth next, I was like, really? What? She goes, you know, the comment and the remark that you said about, you know, your past, or about women being with women. I'm bisexual. I'm married to a man, but girl, if you married a man, right? You decided to be with the man. Why are you speaking? Like, so then she goes to say how she just didn't think that was okay, and what did you mean by you're delivered? And I'm like, girl. And you know what? This is the one time, like, for real, I loved the ladies, okay? Because Felicia wasn't for it. She wasn't having it. She like, girl, no. No. How you just said that was just, no, it's not okay. It's what you said. But what made me gag, girl, was when Keely said, Aubrey, you have anything to say? And Aubrey went, Keely said, okay. I said, ooh, girl, your mouth was cracked and on the ground, girl. I was like, ooh, because you doing too much. You're doing too much. Girl, she had the nerve to call Pam homophobic. No, ma'am. We will not do that today. We will not just throw titles out here like it's the truth when it's not. Pam didn't say anything in that nature. What Pam said is, don't touch me because I don't want to get turned on, girl. Let it go. Don't touch me because I'm saved and delivered. Girl, y'all take it how you want. Pam did not mean that. I'm pretty sure a lot of us have seen phobia, especially in the black community within our families. We know what homophobia look like, and that was not it, okay? So let's stop, girl. Don't throw that title on someone. I didn't appreciate, but, you know. Even Shamari had made the statement pretty much like, Pam is not homophobic, girl. Like, girl, she just don't deal with women no more in that sense. But she's not, like, I don't understand. I think Keely is just trying to find an importance in her life because I'm not understanding the stuff that she's doing. And you know what I love more about this scene was Pam was so calm. Oh, she didn't get mad. She didn't, her eyebrows didn't frown. Pam sat there and said, no, ma'am. No, ma'am. My God said, girl. And she was just calm and at peace, girl. That's where I'm trying to get, that calm and peace where somebody could say something to me and I'm like, no, that is not what's going on. Girl, she was so unbothered, and I'm so here for how Pam handled that. So when Keely go, am I the only one? The girl said, cricket. I said, girl, you in this by yourself. Stop trying to bring somebody into this. And that's when Felicia went in. And she said, girl, you messy. You messy. Since you been here, you messy. And then Felicia goes, why are you here? The question we all want to know the answer to. And pretty much called her a starter, a SHIT starter, okay? And that she's always talking SHIT. She's always talking SHIT. She called it. If it looks like a duck, if it walks like a duck, well, baby, it's a duck, okay? And what I love Fallon said, even though, you know, I'm not a fan of the twins, what she states is, look, we're going to be honest whether you like it or not. If you may not like how it comes out, you may not like what we say, but baby, we going to be honest. And I respect that. I can always respect someone who is honest. What I don't respect is mean girls, but I always can respect someone who's honest. So then it goes to the next day, and it starts off, Keely is in her feelings. She's still salty about what happened. She was called out her name, BITCH, and I mean, yeah, I can see why she felt so. That word doesn't offend me, but I can see how it offended Keely because of what they were labeling her as. Then it goes to Aubrey sitting in a room and she's creating a vision board. So we all know that pretty much Aubrey, at this point, Aubrey has pretty much labeled herself as the creative director, because clearly Keely ain't doing it. All Keely keeps saying is, I'm creative director, but she hasn't created or directed anything. So Aubrey decides to go ahead, you know, that's that divide and conquer crap I was talking about, but somebody had to be it. I thought they all equally was in the group. I didn't think, I don't know why any of them have the role of creative director, but okay. So she creates this vision board, and it has like aesthetics, and the aesthetics were beautiful. It was very neutral. It was very feminine, but just clean. It was very clean. It was nice. It was cute or whatnot. And so then, you know, after speaking with the twins about the vision board, they go and they have a meeting, and this is where Aubrey presents the vision board, and she shows the ladies, and the ladies love it. They're like, oh my god, this is beautiful. Like, you know, all of us are in this. We can see us like this vision. Girl, and it's just getting messy again, but that's why we watch. Now, my issue with this part was Aubrey goes, you know, I'm just tired of the division and the separation of the good and bad dances. Girl, no. Aren't you the one that said, let's divide the group? See, that's Karen's playing with your mind. They play with your mind, girl. You're the one who wanted to divide the group. You're the one who wanted to go in separate groups. You are, boo. So where's this? You know, I don't like the division in the group and the good and bad dancers. Like, girl, who you think? And that's when Keely came in. When Keely was in her confession to say, girl, that's all you. I said, see, Keely is off, but she call it when she see it. And I'm all here for it, because she saw exactly what I saw. Girl, but that's you. Nobody else talked about dividing the group but you. Did nobody else talk about how there's the ones who can sing and dance in one group and the ones who can't in another group? That was you, Aubrey. Or whatever. So then Aubrey says, well, you know, Keely had a chance to be creative director, and she hasn't been creating or directing anything. As I said, see what I'm saying? And all she has done is insert herself into the group as she wants to be part of the group. And there I do agree with Aubrey. Like, girl, you can't say you're going to be something and then don't do it. Like, you have to prove to these girls, because technically a lot of these girls feel as though you don't have the credentials to be creating and directing anything. So she should have done this. Not Aubrey, but Aubrey did it, and it is what it is. Me personally, Aubrey goes to discuss what a creative director is. Let me find out Aubrey know how to use Google, because that sounds like she went and Googled creative director and then sat up here and tried to read to us like she knew because she knew what a creative director was to the T, girl. Shout out to Google. Okay, Google. Okay, my phone didn't go off. Oh, damn, it did. So maybe it's just me, but I peeped something. So when Aubrey went up there and was discussing the creative, the vision board, she's like, I'm nervous, and Lamisha goes, oh girl, why don't you just don't worry about it, girl. Stand up there with your pretty face, girl. And one of them twins had that look like pretty face. Okay, if you say so, girl. I saw that shade. I don't care what you said. I could catch some shade, girl, and that was all shade and no tea. But you know, we all see it, Aubrey. We all do. But did y'all catch and peep Keely's face? Baby was salty, honey. She was sitting there looking like, them two got history we don't know about. Them two got history we don't know about, because I don't understand how in the first episode Keely like, oh, I'm gonna like be with Aubrey and hang with Aubrey because we've worked together, you know. But then it's like them two are like vinegar and oil. They don't mix, but I feel like they got a history we don't know about, because where is this tension coming from between these two? I'm not understanding it. Like, I could see Fallon and the twins, they's just catty women, but like Aubrey is specifically going after Keely, and Keely, like when she tried to call out Pam, she goes Aubrey. She didn't say Nivea. She didn't say Shamari. She went straight to Aubrey. So them two have a relationship, but clearly it's not what it, I guess, was led to believe to be. I'm waiting for more on this one. So then, like, Keely was like, finally, you see it. And she discussed and made the remark about how Aubrey is the one who wanted to divide the group. And she was being very sarcastic. And you could tell she was not here for it. And so all the ladies then go and start gang up on Keely on like, why are you here? And Nivea goes, honey, like, yeah, that's the elephant in the room. We need to know why you're here. And Keely goes to say, I'm not in the group. So she comes straight out and go, no, I'm not in the group. And I'm not. And Irish, I was a little shocked by Irish. Irish goes, well, only the people who are in this group should be on this couch. Girl, Keely got up and moved. And girl, that's when all the tears came. And what I was shocked by was the twins. Keely goes to the counter. All the ladies start jumping on her. Why you here if you're not doing this, if you're not doing that? And I'm like, ooh, girl, like, again, this is just like the first episode when she said she was creative director. And I was really shocked. Like, and then again, Aubrey brings up, oh, you know, you're the one who said I was being divisive. Girl, I told y'all that word bothered her. This isn't the first time Aubrey has been called divisive, boo. It's just not. And then Aubrey do call out, like, hey, you was being sarcastic, you was being negative, and like, it was funny, because then next thing you know, Felicia jump up like, pause. This is what we not about to do. Y'all jumped on me and my sister the first day when we spoke up. Now y'all jumping on Keely. We don't need to do that. And I agree. But Keely was confused, and I would have been too. Like, girl, you just called me the B word. Okay. And the only reason why I'm not cursing is I have kids. But calling me the B word just last night. And I'm like, girl, look. You know the twins ain't got it all, girl. You know they trying to make a little, you know, they trying to turn it up for TV, girl. But you could tell Felicia saw, like, whoa. Like, she looked defeated. Keely looked defeated. She's just like, girl, y'all can talk all y'all. Let me tell you something, Keely attitude. You could talk all you want. I'm still getting this check, girl. I was like, well, I can't get mad at that. But, girl, stop saying you creative director. Then Keely starts crying. And Felicia stands up and say, this is we. And all the ladies like, you right, we don't need to do this. And Felicia states, you know what, I want to try to see things from a new perspective. And she pulls Keely out into the hallway. They get the talking. And, you know, the twins are a lot, but the women, they own up. And I got to respect them for that. And Keely go, last night you just called me a B. And Felicia says, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have did that. And then it goes off, and then we see little snippets of what's going to happen next week, where it looks like we're going to get a new queen of the house, of the group. Let me tell you something, girl. Table scenes are the best scenes in any movie or reality show. It looks like it's going to be a lot of drama. I'm here for episode 3 that's going on tonight. I will be watching that and reviewing that. But yeah, that was all for episode 2. And I want to thank you guys for sticking through. Leave below, comment below what you thought about this episode. Let's have a conversation. Let me know if there's some shows you want me to review. But other than that, we'll be here for episode 3. And thank you so much for watching. And smooches.